So back at it again, man. We got another uh, takeout, removal, and a reinstall. We on the removal part of it now, but this one's kind of tricky, but not bad. I installed this one about 5 years ago, a little bit over 5 years ago. It ain't go bad. They think they call it this thing called life, where you do things and you just learn the process of procedures or whatever you're doing, and through that, then you become great. I'm seems like I'm getting greater and greater at this as life goes on. But yeah, this one's the one to make mention. This one, just like the other one I have, is a whiting. They usually leak down here. Now, I usually do a lot of maintenance with my installs, around my house, whatever I'm doing, motorcycle, bikes, cars, whatever. But this is another one, whereas I'm getting pretty good. You say, well, what do you mean by that? Well, I do a lot of stuff. I do subframe windows, subframe doors. I paint. I do flooring. I do electrical. I'm getting good at the electrical part. Actually got another light fixture up there I got to run. Shut the power off, and I got to run another pull cord. But this was actually my first install. My water softener. I really like this one. Gets really hot. This is a gas furnace. So it does everything. You got a gas line down there, and you just have a pilot. You have your water heater valve line, which that was the issue. This wasn't coming out. The water wasn't releasing, so I had to kind of bypass that and drop the water valve out, and all the water come out, and I had squeegee it all down over there, and got it together now. But what's basically going on is the bottom of the tank has a hole on it. And this is not uncommon for these things. I actually had a job over here where I had a line coming from my bathroom. And I do a lot of stuff, I don't do. And if I get a job done, I'm around a guy, I kind of learn on the fly. And then I say, okay, well, next time I know that. But this one's kind of something because I had to do a few things. This whole setup right here, actually, I'm really good at it to whereas I can get a job done. Removal. So I'll pull this one out. I got my dolly over there, hoist it up. I wrap it up really good, and I put it back in my bed, my truck bed, and I'll take it out and I'll get the new one. But it doesn't pay not to have insurance. The thing in life is to be insured. You can do a lot of things in life. You can act like you know a lot of things in life, but the main question is, are you insured? If something happens, are you or your loved one, your spouse, are you guys covered? So these are some things that I learned. This one I put a 5-year extended full warranty on it, but the way that goes, I actually had a guy coming in tomorrow that was supposed to actually help me with that, because that was the first time I had that, and I did some research and I got that. But you pay them, and then you send this out to the reimbursement. Now, my main issue overall was my overall health, my leg. Doing a lot better, but I just didn't really want to bang up on it. But this is crunch time. So anytime I'm in crunch time, it's like do or die survival for my family. So we got to have running hot water. As I said again, I do a lot of this stuff. I'm getting really good at water heaters. I did do furnaces. I rebuilt my furnace, put a new furnace in there, water heaters. I do mild electrical work. I do all plumbing. I flush out all my plumbing lines. So this is PVC line, but I had an issue the other day, like I was saying, I had a guy come in and he ran some copper, whereas the joints, they were sweating that little piece right there. It just totally eroded. And it actually eroded there, and then it eroded up right within the joint of the floor. And it was just coming out. Well, I think it was a steel line. It wasn't a copper line. That's basically what they're going through now, was going through copper lines. But what I did basically was I had him do it. And I was going to cut it out, but I didn't really know just due not to being able to do that. I didn't do that. So I learned something from that. But just want to get a little footage. I'm going to break this line out. And this is already placed right here. I'm going to take this out, and I'm going to run this whole line, the same setup into the other one. So just getting a little footage. Just getting a little footage of the takeout of the Rheem Performance. A pretty good water heater. Just a little footage. Sign it out. So just like that, went out and got the new one. It took a little bit to take off the water lines and drain it. And it seemed like every time, like I said, I do something, I learn stuff. But went out and got it, and he paired it up, and finna install this one. So over to everything, all my hoses are the same as the last one, and same reinstall. get everything going, light everything up, and we'll have a good one again. So just a pre-installation in the box, and then we'll get one once it's set up again. So we all finished up. We got the new hot water heater installed. Got all the lines running. This was one to make mention. I had to actually ignite the pizzito. I like these because they have a power lighter, and it's a certain combination. You push in the thermostat, and then you go down in the screen, and then it's more of a couple clicks. But then once the air gets in, clears, it usually lights up. But this one's pretty good. I always like this Rheem performance. It's a few things that I will do now, just for maintenance purposes, things that allow just for a longer life of actual water heater itself. But as I say again, this is one that I really had to do. And I just kind of go over everything. Had to put this one in. Got a new screen. These wires, this is a copper wire, and this is something that I go with. But I had to actually do another wire over here, and this one's kind of touchy-feely. I got a few secrets on stretched out lines. Copper is what they're going with, but this is, of course, this is cold and this is hot. And of course, anything that's hot, it sweats. You want a copper line. So the Deere electrical fits. I'm really good at those now. Just even salvaging a setup that's kind of bleeding. I got some Bondo fixes that'll work really good. I got a proxy. This is a really good one right here, Proxy 20. I tell you, if you got a leak going, or you just, you got a pretty sound setup, but you're just sweating a little bit. This will suffice and do the job. So just finishing up with the overall setup on this one. I'm really loving this setup on this one. I like it when I do my setups, make sure that I'm not perspiring on none of my wires or anything. It takes about a half hour once you get everything set up, get all the wires set up, and let the tank actually fill. Once it fills, turn the gas line on. You do your igniter, and then you just kind of want to give it a little time to look at all your wires, your lines, make sure, it's just not leaking. Now, it's kind of common, but I like my setups perfect. I'm pretty good at knowing what works now. This was a setup actually that worked before. Just because a setup has a lot, that doesn't mean anything. A setup, a lot of times, it takes a lot. For example, I had one out to the Home Depot, and I had it set up to whereas I had the last fitting on there, and this is the one I should have had. I did some test runs on the last setup when I got this one prior with a few other lines, and it worked, but this is the setup that's really good. I like this one. So as I say again, I usually use that Proxy 20, and then after I use the Proxy 20, I usually I just usually monitor it because I don't like my tank perspiring at all. They make these tanks real high pressure. They work really good if you got the right application, the right setup, and my setups are pretty good. Like I said, a lot of times I have to kind of go through some of the things that I've learned, some of the things that work, and just basically do what they're asking. But I'm really happy. We got the line over there. I finally got my line in my bathroom done. I went out and got another pressure line coming off the knob, and I was, for the life of me, I was doing the runoff where the water comes out, and that's not where it was at all. So kind of go watch over this one just a little bit. If I got any runoff or anything, I might have to go and get some, just maybe a tad bit more proxy. But this should hold really good. So I'll even cast this with a towel or something, and then just let it sit for a little bit. And then once it hardens, it everything hardens. It gets crispy hard. Everything should be good. So signing out. This job is done. Happy with this job. Yeah, I called the guy in, and they always, they like to get paid for their service, even if you understand how to do it and their service is easy. But sometimes you pay for experience. A lot of times, if I don't have time, I had a job over there, which is kind of the same setup as that elbow, but I didn't really. I was looking at it. I figured out where it was at, but I didn't really know exactly where it was at. And it was a matter of me like a day out from the holiday, and I was getting ready to barbecue, and I'm like, well, wait a minute. I never do that. Just throw money out, get somebody money, because this is the kind of stuff I do. There's a lot of stuff I don't do, but this is pretty much the kind of stuff I do. So, he came in, and it was actually up inside the floor fixturing. So, which wasn't bad. I would have knocked it out, but once I pinpointed, it was more about follow it down and all that, and I just didn't have the time and energy. So we got that one done. We got the new water heater in going. As you see how it's flashing. I really like this when it flashes. It gives you indication. Really good solid heater, Rheem. Um, like I said, I usually take care of my stuff really good, but I do a lot of things that it takes to take care of them in terms of maintenance. But with this one, basically, it's after you get this set up, you look. I'm looking for my pipes if they're sweating, if they're leaking, and I pretty much know what works on this one. Really good water heater. And then also my doing annual flushes. And that's really good. You get sediment on the bottom. A lot of times I'm doing so much stuff. I'm doing that. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I don't write it down. So that's going to be another thing for me to maintenance to kind of keep my stuff going really good, because a house without a water heater, it sucks. So got this one down. I'm really happy with this one. I'll probably go out and get probably a 10 to 15 foot hose on there, so that when I drain it, it'll have enough length to go over there. And I like this one because it has a cotter key. The other one was plastic where you turned that, and that sucked. So all I have to do now pretty much basically is you plug it up and then you turn it to halfway turn, and all the water comes out. So finna finish up, finna put all the screens and stuff on, signing out. So I got another setup, the last setup. Hopefully this one stops. And this is how this one's supposed to actually be. It seems like all the pressures. And you gotta, with these, you gotta be patient, right? Because it only takes a little bit. Like if you got the PV, if you got the copper twist turning just a little bit, if you got it cocked, whatever it might be, it seems like it'll give a little leakage, and you just gotta have it just right. I want to say I'm getting real good at this, but it can be very frustrating when you get it set up and you get everything locked in, and then as soon as you get it locked in, it blows a whistle, right? So hopefully got this one good. I'm glad I had two different setups, and these things are very pricey. I seem like I went out and bought another one that was running with dielectrical. And it can vice versa. You can run, I'm running 1/2 inch, right? Copper. And this is probably the best setup that you want for any like plumbing, right? You want to have that. Yeah, you got to have copper because it sweats. Now, this is a really good union wire. Here I had an issue where I had, and this is kind of strange, but they don't make this line right here for this kind of application. And this will like totally fail if you put it on there. I mean, the line will just literally burst out. It'll be quiet for a lot, but the way that it seats in, they make these things, they lock in, they make them for a reason. They lock in place, right? So they won't come out. They won't deunion unless, of course, you break the pipe, right? And then they don't sweat, they don't corrode. This is a good pipe right here too, right? I like this one. I had 3 applications on this one, and out of all the 3 applications, this was actually a good one. I really like this one right here because it holds, like it doesn't leak, but it's the way you put it in there. It has a big washer, like a big washer. Then it has like a little, it has a silver washer, a chamfer washer, and then it has a thick black washer that catches right up here in the nut. And the key with it is, whatever you mating with, you want that washer to be flush, right? And you want it to sit you want it to be flush. You want it to be right on top of the diameter that you want to be. Then when you have that, it has like a little chamfered thin washer that sits inside the top. Now that rides up on the like the concave, and then it sits down. So it has to be even, because if it's not, if you see this, if it doesn't line up, right? Doesn't line up, of course you're going to have some seepage in there. So this is kind of a slow fit. I'm seeing it. Both sides. It's a really tight fit. It's a really good coupler. This is probably as good as the copper and the dielectrical connectors. But like I say, you got to make sure that you pair them. You got to, whatever surface you got, and this doesn't work for high pressure stuff like this. This will slip out. I had this up underneath there, and it just basically said, pss, pss. And what I'm guessing is the surface is not, it's just not strong enough. I got the guy, he approved this one. It has like a thread pattern. And then, like I said, you have the big old washer, black washer. Then you have that little concave washer on the top, and you just you lock it all the way to the right until it stops. Like it'll stop, and you know it's getting all the grip. Well, when you go steel to steel, of course you're not going to bend that, right? When you go, you could probably bend this in, but this is strong enough. But this is crap. So I had a situation when I went out. I was trying to figure it out, and I was there. I had a good setup when I had it yesterday with the one, but I didn't want it leaking. So this one's not leaking. Got the pressure all the way on. Gonna light the furnace again. It blew a whistle, and all the water came off. So I had a few applications. I said this one's gonna be it. I just got to get some time. So I think I got the lines all parallel. Water's in there running high pressure. I think we're all set now. But this one right here took me all day. I say it could be very discouraging. It could be very depressing if you don't give yourself time and just go through the setup and look at all the stuff that it's made for. Now they make this for high pressure. This is actually the cold side. This is the hot side, right? So if they say they make it for that, it's made for that. You just got to applicate it right. So that's the thing. So got everything running good. It seems like when I have one that get a little drip, I might have to go in with the monkey wrench and just grab it one more time. But overall, got the pressure on. Gonna light her up again. Water splashed out. Seems like 2 or 3 times. But we got her together now. So just a little footage. Signing out.